What was key for us is something we've been stressing this whole really just situation. Just we need to defend and rebound, and getting stops at the end really helped us out a lot because knowing we was knowing our offense was going to come to us. Our key was just really just getting stops and getting offensive boards and defensive boards and just holding the ball, getting the right shot, the best shot we can get that possession.
Tell him to grab the mic.
Get the mic. Talking to the mic. What caught us by surprise is really their size. We knew they were a really big team, but they're big and physical. And once you're playing with somebody that's like really like to be touched and that can move around at that size, it's really hard to deal with them. But we figured it out.
Running Green point 6, Jackson, just how did it feel tonight? Every time you went out there on that floor, the crowd erupted for you.
It felt good just knowing my state had my back out there. It was just a lot of fun to take the court with these dudes and represent our country as well.
Lindsay Schnell, USA State. Jackson, did it feel like, this was just a taste of what it's going to be like when you're down at Matt Knight next year? There were a lot of Duck fans here.
A little bit. I'm sure I'm not going to be getting those loud cheers every time I sub in at Oregon like here just because there'll be other Oregon kids on the team. But, I'm excited to get up there and, play for Oregon and represent the state.
Jackson, Tyson Alger with I-5 Corridor. What do you kind of take from this whole week? Like, when you end up reflecting on this, like, what are you going to kind of think about the most from?
I'm just really grateful I was able to compete with these dudes all week, learn from these coaches, and then, just playing in this game, representing USA, getting the dub is just a huge blessing to go out on a high school career.
Jared, Court Sullivan, no ceilings. You went all out, dove on the floor on that one pass, getting some floor burns.
For sure.
In an all-star game to kind of, just get up and down. Where's that mentality come from? Just being competitive with all these guys, like representing the country is just an honor. So being able to go out there and just play as hard as I can. We knew coming into this game that diving on loose balls and getting rebounds were going to win us the game. So I knew I had to step up and get that dive, and it definitely came with some bruises. But
obviously you played practice the whole week, but did it feel kind of good to be in a close game and not necessarily, obviously you want to blow them out, but was it kind of fun to be in that kind of intense atmosphere?
Yeah, it was definitely fun. Just really competing. Like you said, we've been competing with each other all camp. We got 13 of the best players around the country, and just seeing that it's different types of games every single day, it really was no surprise to us that team was good. But we just knew how to play together and figure things out.
Coach Turner's now joining us. Coach, do you have a statement or anything you'd like to open with on the game?
I think it was a hard-fought game by two great teams, and I think the guys that we put together for the U.S. are resilient. When it mattered the most, they stepped it up. They checked their egos at the door. They left everything on the floor for each other. That's why they came with the victory tonight.
When it got tight there in the fourth quarter, what do you think you guys really did well down the stretch?
Committed to. I'm sorry. We committed to making stops and trying to limit their second chance opportunities. And then on the offensive end, really spreading the court and sharing the ball. We committed to getting downhill and giving ourselves opportunities to get to the free throw line.
Jackson, did you prove anything to yourself this week?
I just tried to come out here and have fun and compete with these guys. First time playing with some of them, so I knew they're all the most elite players around the country. So I was just trying to come out here and play my game, try to do whatever I can take to help the team win.
Jared and Ron, you guys coming off from McDonald's All-American game. That was also a very competitive game. What does that say about this group and this class as a whole?
You want me to go first?
You can go first.
Well, from what I can say is that I feel like we got one of the most competitive classes. You see a lot of all-star games and camps. Really, they don't really play competitive basketball. But when you got dudes that really like to win, that's going to do whatever it takes to win, you put them all under one gym. You're going to, the outcome is going to be a good game or a hard-fought game. Or it's going to be loose balls, diving, all types of fights, all stuff like that. So, like I said, we got one of the most competitive classes. And it's really good just knowing that these dudes going to put in the hard work, and we're going to come out with one of the best classes ever.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I feel like this class is kind of looked down upon sometimes. I mean, with this class coming in, you got Victor and Scoot and stuff. So I think coming in, we all just have a chip on our shoulder, just coming in and trying to play in these all-star games, quote unquote, and just play as hard as we can and win.
Jackson, Renee Ferron on SB Live. What's the lesson that you're going to take away from this week as you look ahead now to starting your career at Oregon?
I mean, this week I just learned how to play with a lot of other elite players, which something that's I'm going to need in college. So, I mean, this opportunity was just big time for me before I get to Oregon next year, so I can learn how to play with other really good players.
Jackson, next string with the Oregonian, you had to play against guys like Ron and Ronnie back in December. How was it to play?
Next question.
Who won that? Who won that again?
Let Ron answer that one.
Jared, didn't we beat y'all 2 years in a row?
I mean, yeah, it was just really cool playing with them this week. I mean, all these guys really talented, so just learning from them every day at practice, competing against them has been a great experience.
Coach, can you speak on, Ronnie was in here earlier and this was his last high school game. I know he competed all week. Can you just speak on what sort of player you saw from him and how productive he was all week?
I mean, I think the biggest thing about Bronny is he's very unselfish. His ability to understand that he can do a lot of different things at any given time. Tonight I called on him to go guard their best player when it mattered the most. And he took the assignment and worked it to a charm. It's a big part of why we won the game tonight. For a young man like that who has so much pressure on him because of who he is and his family, he handles it like a pro. And I can say I'm blessed to have the opportunity to have coached him this week.
Coach, what's it like coaching a game when LeBron's sitting there courtside?
I mean, I'm like the kids, man. It's a unique experience. It's pretty cool. But more importantly, it's special for them. They got a chance tonight to see some of the people, some of the coaches who they're aspiring to have an opportunity to play for and play with at some point in their life. And those guys were out there cheering them on. For years, they've been the ones cheering those guys on. And to have an experience like this is something that I think all these guys won't ever forget. I know I certainly won't.
Ron, you're at the Nike Hoop Summit. A lot of nice kicks out here. You went with the Kobe's. What went into that decision?
I say we went into that decision. That specific pair of Kobe's, the PJ Tucker PE, I haven't played bad in them, and knowing that this is my last high school event, I gotta go out with a bang. And as you can see from the stats and watching the game live, I feel like I've left it all on the court, like my coach told me to.
Damn, bro. Ron gave us some too.
Huh?
You gave us one too?
Oh yeah. I also handed them down to Jared.
He's a nice guy. 16. Bro, you're in 16.
All right, thank you all very much. We have World Team. I'll join us here in a moment.